Kia ora team, and welcome to this video introducing flipped learning. I'll be talking about what flipped learning is and explain how we use it in the classroom. The easiest way to describe what it is to explain what it isn't, and that's a traditional classroom with the teacher being a sage on the stage. When I say sage on the stage, think of a teacher up the front who distributes all of the information to you, almost in a one-way fashion. This is very similar to a university lecture setting. Although this is uncommon in most PE lessons simply due to the practical nature of our subject, on the odd occasion I find myself teaching like a sage on the stage. I generally observe three types of students. First are students who are engaged and on task, focusing on the content being delivered. Secondly, there are students who are engaged but they're struggling to keep up with the delivery of the content, and quite often this will be the student who's furiously taking notes as they try to keep up. And the third student I see are students who are simply off task and unengaged. They are struggling to comprehend any of the content, they're not enjoying the lesson, and will sometimes be distracting others in the classroom. When you consider the range of varying engagement levels, you can see some of the problems experienced with this style of delivery in the classroom. However, in a flipped classroom, the teacher becomes a guide on the side who facilitates learning, helping students discover knowledge and steer them in directions that will help them understand content better. To make it simple, the flipped classroom has students doing what they'd normally do in class at home and what they'd normally do at home in class. Hence the terminology flipped classroom. The main content of each lesson is observed at home, where you can be free from distractions with the ability to watch and learn at your own pace. The real-world application of these concepts, which is the important stuff, now takes place in the classroom, where I have more time to assist the development of your understanding surrounding key topics and concepts that we are learning in a particular unit. To allow this to happen 1 to 2 times per week, I'll post an update on the class Facebook or Edmodo page linking to a YouTube video that I've prepared. You'll then watch the YouTube video at your own pace, as well as taking notes and summarising the video. The key point here is being able to watch the video how you choose to. You're free to pause when you want, to take notes, summarise, or to discern the information at your own pace. This is important because we know all students learn and digest information at different speeds according to their learning needs. There are a number of tools teachers can use to track your observation of videos outside the classroom. The method I like to use was developed by a maths teacher by the name of Crystal Kirch. A whisk is a one-page sheet completed at home to ensure you have watched and digested the content. A sheet is completed for every video and must be shown to me at the start of our next class. Failure to complete your whisk means you might have to give up a lunchtime or interval to catch up. Watch. Videos will range from 8 to 12 minutes, and it's assumed that to successfully watch a video, you'll minimize as many distractions as possible. Strategies you could implement here include using headphones, closing other websites, or tabs you might have open, in particular Facebook, turning off your cell phone and putting aside enough time to watch a video. This means enough time to watch, pause where necessary, and complete your summary and question. Summarize. Your summary must be completed immediately after watching the video. This provides feedback to you, then to me, about your level of understanding that you have taken from the video. If we can't make sense of the summary, then you probably didn't understand it well enough because you couldn't verbalize it effectively. If you find you don't understand anything, the beauty of flipped videos is that you can pause, rewind, and watch the content over and over. Your summary must be written in paragraph style, so please avoid just bullet pointing information. Question. One of the most important aspects of the whisk sheet involves developing a question. Having a question prepared after watching the video tells me that you're really trying to understand the content. Some of these student-developed questions will be presented at the next lesson, giving you the opportunity to further enhance your knowledge by contributing your own ideas and answers to other student questions on a given topic. Ideas include, for questions, a specific question about an example, scenario, or term that you didn't understand or may have confused you, or a general question about a concept or something that was said or explained during the video. Here's an example of a whisk sheet I use in 2 parts so it can fit on the page. The majority of it for your summary, with space at the bottom to write your question. Note that there is enough room in the summary section to include other notes as well. This could be for questions or tasks I ask you to complete during the video. The document's always changing and will not always be a physical document that you write on. Sometimes your WIS sheet may be a Google Doc that you submit online and could even have multiple choice questions as an example. As mentioned earlier in the video, the flipped classroom allows us to repurpose our class time into a learning environment where students can inquire about the lesson content, test their skills in applying knowledge, and interact with one another in hands-on activities. This chart highlights what a traditional classroom may look like when compared to a flipped classroom. Please remember though that this is just an example of what it could look like, and traditional classrooms vary according to the teacher and the learning area. In a traditional classroom, the first 5 minutes might be used to introduce the focus or learning objectives of the lesson. Following this, you may talk about the relationship between prior learning and today's new content for about 10 minutes. The next 30 or 40 minutes may involve the teacher standing at the front of the class, delivering new content in a number of ways. Some of those methods may be exciting, others may just involve the teacher at the front chalking and talking. The last 10 minutes may provide enough time for the teachers to oversee a quick learning activity where they try to bring the lesson content all together. The flipped classroom on the right is considerably different. After a quick lesson introduction, we move straight into student-led discussions around questions that have come from the last video. Students are encouraged to work through the questions together to develop appropriate answers. Following on from here, we move into 45 minutes of guided learning activities or practical work. You've already covered the main body of the lesson the night before, so here we try to incorporate practical-based group activities. We're no longer tied to the classroom for our theory lessons. We could be working outside if the lesson required it, or even heading off-site to further enhance our learning. The pros of a flipped classroom include increased class time to present content, discuss complex topics, and to work with you. Reduced time spent answering basic and repetitive questions, and increased student-teacher interaction and student-student interaction. Student-teacher interaction because now instead of being up the front of the class providing content, I'm now among you assisting you as you apply these concepts to real-world scenarios. And student-student interaction because instead of sitting, listening and taking notes, more of your time is spent interacting with your peers, participating in group work activities and completing tasks. A literature review of flipped learning by Nora Hamdan and Patrick McKnight stated that although quantitative and rigorous qualitative data on flipped learning is limited, there is a great deal of research that supports the key elements of the model with respect to instructional strategies for engaging students in learning. The research that does exist demonstrates that teachers who are flipping their classrooms report higher student achievement, increased student engagement, and better attitudes towards learning and school. In addition, the teachers report that their job satisfaction has improved and they are feeling re-energized by their heightened interaction with students. Does the lack of scientific evidence mean we shouldn't flip our classrooms? I don't believe so. And if we only implemented strategies supported by decades of research, we'd never try anything new. I agree with a statement that Brian Goodwin and Kirsten Miller made this year in a technology-rich learning journal that until researchers are able to provide reliable data, perhaps the best we can do is to ask, do the benefits of flipped classrooms reflect research-based principles of effective teaching and learning? I feel they do and gladly embrace what the flipped classroom has to offer. Our results. As you can see from the graph to the right, these are the level 3 results from 2011 through to 2013 for our biophysical PE standard, which has a strong focus on biomechanical analysis and performance appraisal. Must be noted, however, that we have recently gone through level 3 standards alignment, so the assessments are not entirely the same. 2012 was the first year of flipping my classroom. I wasn't entirely sure on what I was doing and struggled to develop a suitable structure during our classroom lessons. Our results were very similar to those achieved in 2011, so not much change at all. After gaining more experience and a better understanding of how I could flip my class, we saw a considerable shift from achieved and merit results to excellence in 2013. You can see that on the grey bar with 40% of our students this year getting excellence in the biophysical standard. I believe this is directly related to the benefits and opportunities the flipped classroom has provided our students. As with anything new, there needs to be some student expectations to ensure a smooth transition. As part of the flipped classroom, I'm expecting the following 3 things from you 100% of the time. You'll watch the set videos prior to the designated lesson and complete any tasks provided during the video. You'll bring your whisk sheet to the next class session, and you'll apply yourself during our school lessons at all times, asking lots of questions to further enhance and develop your understanding of the content. Well, there you have it. I'm keen to hear your thoughts and questions in the next lesson, so please make sure you've completed your first whisk sheet, and I look forward to having a positive discussion.